Hey, welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek, the Next Generation recap and rewatch podcast. As usual, I am Adam Ordal Quinnell, and I am joined as always by...
Hey everybody, it's Al Hirt here. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt. Hey, what's up indeed? How are things down there in San Diego?
It's good. It's nice and warm here, thankfully. And I don't know, just been chilling. I mean, work is work, so... But yeah, it's just been really nice. I've just been like enjoying the apartment a lot and just staying into, but going out and checking out these new places are nice too.
Is where
I will say though, we haven't found any restaurants that are like as good as LA, but we are still looking.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if that's...
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, you know, plus it's like a new place, so you got to find 100% new restaurants. So that's certainly a concern whenever you move somewhere. But hey, at least you're settled in and things are working out. That's cool. Where's San Diego in terms of the beach? Is it on the beach?
What, where I'm at?
Yeah, no, like the city of San Diego geographically. Is it on the coast?
It's near the coast. It's pretty big. I mean, there's like a bunch of different spots of San Diego, but yeah, it's on the coast. It's like a stone throws away from Tijuana, actually.
Cool.
But how far from the beach? I don't know. I mean, how far from the beach am I?
I don't know.
Probably like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's closer than us. We're, you know, where we're at, we're a half hour, 45 minutes. We're 45 minutes away from the beach in the old Van Nuys, California.
Let me see here. Actually, we're 20 minutes. But that's
right,
like, nicer beaches, nicer areas and stuff.
Sure.
So it really depends on where you want to go, because downtown San Diego's like, you know, very, what is it? I don't know, cityscape with a lot of breeze, just because the wide open ocean's right there, you know, and just a shit ton of boats and like rich people on their yachts and shit. So yeah, it's a lot different.
It was probably stupid to ask if San Diego is on the coast, because all of those cities are on the coast it's like San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco. But
it's like, I don't know, it's just so big, you know. That's what a lot of people don't think about California. It's like, it's so big that like there's all these different little pockets of culture in different little areas. So you'll see all kinds of people. It's a lot chiller here in San Diego, though, for sure. Especially with the traffic. I just can't get over it, dude. Like, people are merging onto the highway at, like, 50 or 60 and, you know, looking around, like, pretending they're driving alone. It's wild.
Oh, wow.
Like, people barely go, you know, 90, 95. So it's really just, like... I'm just weaving through traffic, saving 5 minutes.
You're saying that you are doing LA driving while they are doing San Diego driving, and that works out for you. Well, that's cool.
Well, seriously, because, some places, you know, I recover 7 minutes.
Definitely.
Just on the highway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, good to know. I'm glad that you're still doing good. And
how's your back?
My back has been...
your back? No, your ribs,
My
right?
ribs are still broken, but when I think about it, this is like week 6 of when I stopped playing disc golf finally and like things start healing. So I'm probably got like several more weeks before I'm able to like play again and shit, but it's definitely does not hurt as much as it did 6 weeks ago. So I feel like I finally gave it a chance to feel better, and it is, so that's good. And yeah, that's about it. I have just been doing trying to stay active enough so that I don't just gain a bunch of weight, because I can't go out and exercise the way I normally would. But I've been keeping on with that, and wife is good, cats are good, life's fucking fine. I mean, I feel bad that back in my home state of Minnesota, like Gestapo police are like killing people and shit. Like, you know, we're not really a political podcast, even though we talk about Star Trek, and we could be, but we are decidedly against ICE murdering people and DHS murdering people. I think that I can safely say that we here at Trek in the Valley, we come out hard again it. And it's been heartening to see everybody coming together. It's just a huge bummer, and shit never stops here in LA. There's just constant threat of ICE and DHS doing shit, and
I keep getting texts about it too, like automated texts from like lawyers doing shit for free and stuff, pro bono work.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
My wife is becoming more active in like tracking their movements in the valley specifically, because that's where we're able to respond if we have to go film people. So, after she gets up later, we're gonna see what's going on and see if there's anywhere we can go to be helpful, to just be around and be
just
recording or whatever.
Honestly.
Yep, and just of course, to be in the chain,
freaky.
To be in the chain on the message threads or whatever, saying they're over here being dicks, and because it just and
you're gonna be labeled as terrorists, dude.
Isn't
that so weird?
If there's a list, if there's a list where they're gonna label people terrorists based on shit like that, I would already be labeled a terrorist based on everything I post on Bluesky.com. I just. So I don't give that's not like, I mean,
I feel like we're past the point of no return on that.
Like that's
stuff
like
too,
it's
such a surprise.
It's like I was talking to my brother and we pass out these know your rights cards to people and immigrants and shit, and it's just like, well, I mean, even if you know your rights, you don't like really have any rights in the moment when a DHS guy is like holding you down and then shooting you in the back 10 times. Well,
I mean, this guy's gonna read it and be like, I guess you're right.
All of that is like you just have to record everything as that you can that's happening, and those are kind of your rights after the fact, and that fucking sucks. But so with that cheery little follow up on what's going on for all of our listeners overseas. Let's get into the first segment of the show, which is, of course...
Yes.
What does Al remember? Al, what do you remember about Star Trek, the original series, Season 2, Episode 5, The Apple?
The Apple?
The Apple.
The Apple. Season 5. Where were they? I guess...
They were on a planet. Mm-hmm. They were zooming around out there, zipping around.
Were they like saving somebody from a plague or something?
No. But...
A virus?
No. Wait. Hold on. No. What if I told you this episode involved a giant cave opening that looks like a snake head.
Oh, the snake people, yeah.
Well, they're not really snake people.
Well, not snake people. They had like antennas on their heads.
Yes!
And Kirk was like, where are your little ones?
You have officially...
Yeah, I remember that.
You have officially remembered something. Because I was editing last week's episode, and I was like, man, I really jump in a lot on this. What does Al remember? So you remembered that they are now... What color are these aliens?
Orange?
They're orange. Good job, man.
I remember that we thought this was like, I don't know, this was like a clusterfuck of the pick of the week, with like these aliens, and we were joking that like, oh, they probably found antennas in the back lot and was like, here, just put these on. Like, now they're like new race aliens. Yeah,
they're antennas from like flying saucers from something else, or they're antennas from like a war movie.
Was the snake cave like a source of power?
Yes.
And they're like throwing bodies into it?
Yeah. So the
snake... Or they were throwing things into it.
They fed
I don't think
it.
It was bodies.
They fed it. Food and stuff, yes.
I'm getting that mixed up with the two races of aliens that were killing each other via...
The computer.
Via computer,
They're basically playing Battleship.
Via Battleship, yeah. That's
but then they would actually kill the people there.
Yeah.
No.
So anyways, the issue with this place was that they didn't have any children. Was that right?
Yeah, there was no children.
So then they weren't able to grow as a society?
Yes, and the people there lived for Landon
this
agrees.
god, right?
Yes. And so
Which was the cave.
There's a cave that gives them power. No, wait, hold on here. Let me see. Here.
Oh, wasn't it called the apple because it's like some shtick on like Adam and Eve or whatever?
Yeah, because they couldn't let. It's basically it's a prime directive thing as well, and remember they're shooting Vol like with like lasers from space or whatever.
That's right, like how they did in Adonis.
Yeah, similar. Yes, absolutely.
But then they destroyed the cave, right? So then the people were not. What is it? That people weren't like indebted to feed the cave anymore. That looked like a snake.
Trying to defend
free to live their lives.
Trying to defend itself against the Enterprise's phasers forces Vol to exhaust all of its energy reserves. Spock determines that Vol is no longer generating any power and pronounces it dead. Scott reports the potency is starting to return to the ship's antimatter pods. That's what was going on. It was eating their antimatter. Yeah. Kirk orders him to send an engineering detail down to the surface to fix, and then tells Chekhov and McCoy to release the villagers. In front of a lifeless Vol, Akuta is at a loss as to how he and his people will survive without Vol. Kirk tells Akula and the rest of the natives that they will send help to the people to teach them to build things and grow food. That they now have the freedom to live their lives as they see fit, to love one another, and to have children. Wow.
They weren't having children because of the cave, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was it just like, oh, we just got to feed this cave because we need hope?
Yeah, why did
Kirk
Kirk
That's
say, man, I'm having a hard time. It
sounded like he beamed him up, too, on the ship when he said that he brought him back.
No, when I don't know, man, but...
it sounds like he, like...
Scott tells Kirk to inform the Enterprise being held in orbit around the planet by an unknown source, yeah. But, so basically...
How did they end up at the planet?
They were... Let me see here.
It must be for some research or something.
Yeah, they note that on Stardate, the starship orbits this planet Gamma Trianguli I-6, a landing party comprised of Kirk, Spock, Chekhov, Yeoman Martha Landon, and 2 security officers, Kaplan and Marple, beamed down to the planet to scout the area, followed shortly after by Dr. McCoy and 2 more security officers, Hendroff and Mallory. Dr. McCoy says, it's a shame to intrude on such a beautiful environment, but Kirk says since the last scout ship reported strange sensor readings, their orders are to investigate the planet and make contact with the inhabitants. So they were doing second check-in, like...
Second contact.
But it wasn't really second contact because I don't think they know that they are... they haven't revealed themselves as interstellar voyagers yet to these folks.
Yeah.
And this is when... remember, Hendroff is shot and killed by a pod plant?
Oh, yeah.
That's
the pod plants.
So they're basically saying that this place is like paradise, except it'll shoot you in the neck. And then I can't remember why let me see here. I can't remember why they didn't have children.
I think it was, I don't know, it was something to do with the cave.
Oh, yeah. Kirk points out that the tribe doesn't seem to have any children and asks Akuta why. Akuta at first doesn't know what children are. Finally, Kirk is talking about the tribe called Replacements and replies that Vol has forbidden love and marriage. That's right. So, dude, they should not be down with Vol anyway. Vol sounds like a fucking very square... Vol sounds like a loser, man.
Yeah, it reminds me of Landrew as well, where they just break Landrew and they're like, all right, you're good.
Landrew.
Have a good day.
Landrew says, do the red time. That's probably like a dance that they have. And so anyway, that is what Al remembered. I don't know why I did that because I just made it more difficult for me to edit the episode because I'm going to have to sync that up with how I did it just now, but that's fine. And that brings us to the meat, the segment meat of the episode today. We're talking about a holodeck heavy episode for episode number 149 of Trek in the Valley. This is Season 2, Episode 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation. It is Elementary, Dear Data. Elementary, Dear Data. And
this feels like an episode. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, go for it,
It feels
man.
like an episode where like, did we delve deeply in the holodeck before? Just with Picard, right? When he was doing his detective shit.
No, yes, but also there's been other. Didn't Data already do some sort of Sherlock Holmes stuff in there, or did he just wear the hat? He wore the hat. He was outside.
Yeah, because he read all the books because they were having some mystery on board, and he offered his help to Picard by reading all the Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Well,
and Picard's like, I guess that'll help.
So that's where that introduced Data's love
the idea
of the great detective Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, the way this episode starts, I really like. The ending's all right. I don't know. The ending's a little Gene Roddenberry-esque, but
we'll keep you alive in holographic storage computer. So so this episode was written by Brian Allen Lane and Arthur Conan Doyle. Oh, because characters.
Oh, there we go.
He didn't actually work on the script. He had been dead for as far as I know 500 years. I don't know when he was writing.
Got to give credit where credit's due.
Yep, and it was directed. It was he's got to get the estate of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And so this was directed by old Rob Bowman, and it aired on December 5th, 1988, which was 58 years ago today, or something like that. It was between 30 and 60 years ago. And the Paramount Plus synopsis is Data poses as Sherlock Holmes to decipher a puzzle that threatens Dr. Pulaski's life. Oh, man.
That's like a good chunk of the episode.
Right there, you're like, oh, great. Data's got to fucking stand up for this lady that's obviously very, very deeply racist against him. Like, honestly, dude, she's so racist against him. She's like a virulent racist from the South or whatever in
it's you know what I'm talking about, the Midwest. It's like the Midwest Southern, like, bless your heart energy, that she has.
I think it's even
not
no.
Like, if you look even more into the words,
I think it's worse than that. I think it's
tone too.
No, I think it's worse than that, dude. She straight up says, "You're a thing." Like, it's really like
she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were more than a thing."
Yeah, just like remember in last week's episode when we had to the episode that I edited yesterday when she was like, "I know that I keep forgetting that your service records say that you are a living thing, and
technically you are alive."
Like, oh, Data's like, "Oh, thank you so much for doing me the great favor of allowing me to be alive. That is so kind of you." But yeah, so this episode opens. The cold open is they're traveling to a planet to cure or plague or bring a plague. I don't know which. Let's see here. So, and they're 3 days early to meet up with the Victory,
which is another starship.
Another starship, yes. Another ship in the Federation of Planets, which of course is the governing body of all of this bullshit that we've dedicated hundreds of hours to talking about. And Data heads down to engineering to look for Geordi, and Geordi's assistant. First off, Data refers to this ensign or whatever as Geordi's assistant, and I'm like,
right, damn.
Right. Oh my God. Demoted. And then Data's. She says he's with the Victory. He's in with the Victory. And Data's confused. He walks up to Geordi and he's like, "Geordi, man. Your fucking assistant. I think she's stupid or something, man. Like, she said you're here with the Victory, but the Victory is 3 days away." And he goes, "Oh, I'm here with this." And then Geordi reveals. What does he reveal, Al?
It's like a model of the original Victory ship from way back in the day.
Yes, that he's made as a gift for Captain Zimbata, who is the captain of the Victory.
And I guess Geordi worked with Zambada in the past as what is it, an ensign. So it was like an honor for him to give him this, like, it's a nice little gift or a treat.
Yeah, it's sweet.
And it's funny too, though, because as he's showing off, the ship and all that, Data's like, is this not printed? Like, is this not like, generated?
You didn't replicate this?
You didn't replicate this? Yeah. And he's like, no, the whole point of this is so it's like for the hand making. It's like for the building. That's like part of the joy.
And part of the gift, the time you put into it,
the time you put into it. Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing that Data's confused about is Geordi is talking about how much he loves like the idea of sails and like being out on the open water and shit. And Data's like, but Geordi, you're a space engineer. Why the fuck do you give a shit about water and stuff? Like, you're flying around in space, you idiot. That's like somebody who plays heavy metal guitar in arenas, being like, oh man, I really want to just be plunking away at violin in a high school classroom.
Well, it's just, it also too serves as a purpose of like for the author or for the writer of the episode to like directly address the audience of, why do people even daydream about this and stuff? They kind of hit it over. They hit it over the head, with it when Geordi's literally like, people always want what they don't have, and
this is also where their voyaging came from. It's what's instilled.
Road.
Oh my God, yes, the Enterprise theme.
From here.
Oh my
Dude,
God,
that was so bad.
Why wouldn't they? So they did the Starfleet Academy has an opening sequence that doesn't have a voiceover. But it also isn't like a song with lyrics. But I really think that they should stick to doing the Final Frontier for all of them. Like they really should, like, because Strange New Worlds does it great.
It's tried and true. Like, come on.
Starfleet Academy is still good, by the way. But
I mean, like Lower Decks, that's a whole different show. It's a comedy, but
and it's got a shorter theme. So the fact that, and they do so much visually with that opening in Lower Decks that it doesn't really need the classic. That is the one exception. Good ear on that. So Geordi has a little surprise for Data here. They are going to go to the holodeck and experience a very special holodeck program since they have so much time.
Well, Geordi was just like, well, since you indulged me in my hobbies for about 10 minutes, let's go spend 3 days in the holodeck.
Yes!
I'll be your Watson.
Dude,
and
that is...
Data's like, what do you mean you're Watson?
That is a fantastic point, Al. That is so fucking funny, dude. Oh my God. Geordi is like, well, Data, you stood next to my ship. It's not like he helped him build the fucking ship. He's like, well,
in seconds.
You heard me. It's like if you came over to my house and I talked you through my shelves of toys, my toy collection, and then I was like, well, so now that I've explained my toy collection to you, I'll do camping in the wilderness in a mountain for 4 days with you, and so yes, they are doing It's a Sherlock Holmes episode.
Yeah, it's just like, usually with these episodes too, especially on TV, I don't know, it's like you always feel a sense of dread as the audience because you're gonna be like, oh fuck, this is just gonna be some shit filler episode of like Data doing his silly Sherlock Holmes stuff. But it's cool how they twist it. It's cool how they twist it. I don't know.
I mean,
it gets way better because at first I thought it was gonna be like that.
I mean, I have a soft spot for stuff like the holodeck. And the old and just I do think it's funny how this is basically the only story of the episode, though. There isn't really. I mean, the B story is they're waiting here for the victory,
by the holodeck.
But then the holodeck goes Auri, as they would say in Australia, as our Australian listener would say. So they walk into a holographic model of 221B Baker Street, which is the historic homes of which is the historic. Oh, my fucking edible drink literally just started working. It's always fucking crazy when your edible starts working as you're saying something that's alliterative. So 221B Baker Street is the historic home of Sherlock Holmes, the great detective of history, of fiction. And everything in this room is a little trinket or a bauble from a famous Sherlock Holmes story. And Data's like pointing it out. And he's like, well, Geordi's like, well, Data, if I'm Watson and you're Holmes, what's my role? And Data's like, you are basically Holmes's biographer. Like, you write down everything that he says and does, and you really get into the meat of his story. And then Data picks up a European fiddle or a violin, and he starts playing this beautiful violin. And then Geordi just takes out a book and a piece of paper and just starts writing about Sherlock Holmes playing the violin. And it's very
so weird.
To the heights of bliss and the depths of despair. And I love how Geordi's like, Data, where did you learn how to play like that? Dude, he's a fucking machine, bro. Like, he could just program. You could just, Data can just he could download being a great European fiddle player.
Could you just do that in the holodeck as well? It's just like, hey, Sherlock Holmes is good at violin, therefore I'm good.
You definitely. Oh man, yes. One of the things that I would do in the holodeck,
a robot too, right? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
But one of the things that I would do in the holodeck is I would be like, program me playing lead guitar for like a metal band or something. But it's set up so that I don't really play the guitar part. It's like
air guitar,
or like no, but I'm holding a guitar and shit, and I think I'm playing it. I'm like pressing the strings and shit, but it correctly comes out. But no, Data just is throwing himself into the role, my dear Watson. And and this is when the things kind of go off the rails, because Data goes, oh, I think that somebody is about to knock on the door.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just, the sequence of events is just kind of awkward. It's very reminiscent of like, when two kids are playing and like one already knows everything is going to happen. I don't know. It just came off as like Data, doing all the steps really quickly to this mystery. So and like he's spoiling the fun, basically.
Absolutely. So some character actors come in playing Lestrade, Detective Lestrade of Scotland Yard, and somebody else. And they say gypsy. We don't say gypsy anymore, dude. That's not a thing. And then Data knows all the Holmes cases. I love how Data says King of Bohemia at one point. And so basically Data just gets up and solves the case right there. They
don't even leave.
The person who's guilty has the fucking shit in their jacket and stuff. And Geordi goes, Data, you're cheating. And he quits in a huff. And
he doesn't even confront Data. He just closes the program and leaves. Well, it's so funny.
And the thing about it is, yes, Geordi is correct to be like, fucking come on, Data, sure. But I think he got a little too irritated about it, Keep in mind, Data gave you 10 minutes of listening to you talk about a ship. And so
it took him 10 minutes to change.
The way Geordi tries to explain it, that's right. They had to wear costumes and shit.
They wear actual clothes. Yeah, it's not like generated clothes.
And then Data tries to explain it, or Geordi tries to explain it to Data, and he says, no mystery, no game, no fun.
This is the exact point, though. This is what makes Star Trek good. Like they could have just made a filler holodeck episode and just had some like shitty Sherlock Holmes mystery and some fanfic of them running around. But it's like from the get-go, Geordi's like, this is bullshit. You're a robot. You know everything.
Puts and he's a little like twist on it.
Yeah, he's like trying to explain to him like the concept of like original thought.
And so then
then that's when the doctor comes in.
Yeah, good segue, dude. So Geordi and Data are in 10 forward in their costumes. I love the idea of going to like 10 forward, going to 10 forward after, the holodeck, and you're like still wearing your costume. I bet that happens a lot. And so then Data, as you mentioned, Data and Geordi, they're kind of, Data's explaining to Geordi what's going on. And then Pulaski pops up and just out of nowhere says, well, Data's just a thing. He has no fucking clue what you're talking about. You see, Geordi, Data doesn't matter. He's not real. He's just a thing. And because she explains that the value is in losing. She's saying that it isn't possible for Data to learn or solve an original mystery. basically she's saying Holmes understood the human soul, but Data can't because he's just a fucking soulless nothing husk that has no bearing on humanity or a soul of any sort.
No, it's kind of like a nose-up thing, too, to be like, well, in medicine, I encounter many mysteries that I have to solve, Data. And, like, I'm confronted with all these new different things, whereas Data, like you said before, though, with the point of him just learning how to do the violin, like, there isn't, like, a learning process. It's more like uploading.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Neo in the Matrix, you know, when he's like, teach me Kung Fu, dude.
That's the benefit of being a fucking robot, dude. You can.
Well, yeah, it's exactly.
So Data,
I don't know. It's getting weird though.
She basically says that there's no way that Data could solve a human mystery that he hasn't read. Data proposes the game, and then Data accepts the challenge. I like that. And basically, he invites the robo-racist to come and watch him solve a human mystery, and that is the end of Act 1. Now,
yeah, he's like, I'll prove it to you. In fact, why don't you come with me, bitch? She's like, dang, okay.
He's like, sure. And
It's
he's
just so
like,
awkward.
He's
she
like,
dresses up too, though.
He's like, I can call you bitch because I'm not real. I'm just a thing, so it doesn't matter what I say, right, Pulaski? I can't be misogynist because I'm not a person.
She's just so rude.
I just hate her so much.
But no, I mean, she eventually warms up to him, right? I mean,
she does, but on her deathbed, I bet she would say, Data wasn't a person. She would say, oh, Data wasn't real. And this is such an interesting episode structure because all of Act 1 was Geordi and Data, most of it the Sherlock Holmes stuff, right? And then Act 2 starts with them in 10, and then they even go to 10 forward and whatnot. And then Act 2 is Data and Geordi and Pulaski outside the holodeck as Data, he says, computer, give me a Sherlock Holmes-esque problem that I can solve that that isn't pre-written that I wouldn't know. And immediately they get in there and they step into dirty old London, and Data immediately catches a pickpocket. He calls a ruse. He sees one person being distracted. He sees a kid
so
take
weird.
it. And then that's not good enough for old racist Pulaski. She calls him a fraud. She says, fraud.
Yeah.
Fraud. You didn't deduce anything.
Jeez.
Fraud. Her exact words. She says, fraud. You didn't deduce anything. Fraud. And
then Data goes on to describe like what he literally did, and he's like, okay, I mean, is that not what deducing is? Like,
dude,
I went from what is it? He said from the general to the
specific.
Specific. Yeah.
Yes. And dude, my notes say Pulaski sucks so fucking much, dude. And she says your circuits would short out if you were confronted with a human mystery. And
she kind of eggs
like,
him onto this disaster, you know?
Geordi's like, hey, relax. And she's like, no, I'm telling you, when he dies, his soul won't go anywhere because it doesn't exist. Now, at this time, there's somebody watching they have to leave temporarily, right? And they create an arch, and they arch and they step out of the arch, and then they pop out of the holodeck because Geordi caused a power surge by asking the holodeck to create a character that can defeat Data. So that's
like
what they did. So that's how he's like, okay, Pulaski, fine. Create a character that can defeat Data. And then they leave. And then Moriarty says he feels, this guy's obviously Moriarty, even though she identifies him as such later. Moriarty feels like a new man. The computer made him the thing that can defeat Data, I would guess. That's him getting an upgrade. He leveled up. Moriarty creates an arch, and that's when the trouble starts brewing. It's
such a funny gag though, because as soon as Geordi says it, he goes, create an adversary worthy of defeating Data. So, and then it like hard cuts to Riker and Worf on the bridge, and his monitor goes off, and Worf's like, well, that was weird.
Yes.
Riker's like, what was that? And he's like, I don't know, some power surge near the holodeck.
That's
like,
right.
Okay.
And so
and it was like, oh, Jesus. It's a funny gag, though.
Oh, so that's right. So Geordi stepped out to reprogram the holodeck and say,
yeah, because she
okay.
was like, we need to up the ante because you figured this out way too fast. So she kind of goads them into it, but they didn't really think about it. You know, I always imagine it as like 3 kids or like 3 people just like having fun and just like shooting the shit and just like not really like finishing the thought. So, you know? So
Moriarty is talking to this Cockney street lady. And they watched them step out to reprogram the holodeck and come back in. And Moriarty, I didn't realize this. He says that dark fellow there used the word arch when talking about Geordi. It's like, why would you say that instead of the guy with the eye visor? You know what I mean? Like, why would, of all the things, that man
is pretty specific,
right? Yes, the man with the robot eyes. And then after they get back in, Geordi, Data are walking around. He's like, all right, let's get this new mystery going. And then, whoops, Pulaski gets abducted. We hear her scream, and they find her shoe. And here we go. Then basically Data does his Sherlock Holmes thing where he lays the scene bare and describes all of the reasons that they know that this is a researcher who is experimenting with electricity. And then Data gets excited and he says, uh-oh, I bet he knows it's probably Professor Moriarty at this point, I would imagine. So basically they're tracking the footfalls of who they think is Pulaski and like the abductor, right? Yeah. And when they catch up, they find a dead man, and it says it does not connect to. Data says it doesn't connect to the big crime.
It's this really funny gag because at first, you know, the village or everybody in the town like wants Sherlock to solve the mystery, and Data's like, I don't really have time for this. This has nothing to do with our case. And then what's his name?
Geordi as Watson sits down and like
tries to solve it.
Talks to Lestrade, and he's like, you know, I think the murderer was a strangler who attacked him from behind.
Yeah, and then Data debunks all of that.
Yeah. So I realized that earlier. So they basically just ran into this murder, or does it end up becoming consequential?
No, it's just a random murder.
There's just so many mysteries happening around them as the holodeck is just trying to throw everything at him. And
or
so
maybe it's like a secondary program, because like they do mention, you know, as soon as they solve that first murder, because Data's like, look, like it was this lady and then she choked him from behind, but not with her hands, with this scarf. And that's why the scarf has the even pattern of, holes on his neck.
Oh, dude, even in my notes, I say Data just constantly solves crimes on their route to, that's what it is. So Data's just constantly solving little mysteries while tracking down Pulaski and Moriarty, who he doesn't know as Moriarty yet, but he probably suspects it.
But it's also too, though, I think at this point they're still excited because it's like, I mean, Geordi's like, so you don't know why Dr. Pulaski's gone? And he's like, no, I mean,
it's a mystery.
It really is a mystery, yeah. And they're like both still excited, but I don't think they realize like what's going on.
And this is where the deduction in this one, when they come across the dead body, is that this guy got drunk with his killer, and there's the killer. That guy was her abusive husband, and she used something as a garrote. And I love when they say it's garrote.
Oh, garrote.
And even in my notes it says, I forgot he solves a bunch of cases while he's running around. Geordi is like,
it's so funny how Geordi tries.
Yeah, Geordi, no, he gets close. He gets like
nah.
he can't nail it like Holmes, but neither could Watson. So it's a good dynamic. Geordi says, if the murderer wasn't related to Pulaski, then that means the holodeck is running its own program. What? And this is where Geordi gets extra stoked because Data doesn't know what's going to happen next, but also I don't think they're worried about Pulaski's.
They're not. They're not worried yet.
For all they know, somebody, a holodeck character popped up and was like, "Oh, you're going to be kidnapped now for this holodeck program. Come with us." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And they follow the trail to the hidden door that leads to Moriarty's lair. Moriarty is like, "You are two people pretending to be those assholes." So
he just calls them out immediately.
Yeah, he says, "You're not really Holmes and Watson." He's like, "I know Holmes and Watson, and you are not Holmes and Watson. You are far too green, sir." To Data, "You are far too green, and you are a dark." And then Geordi's like, "Hey, what the fuck, dude?" And he's like, I was gonna say, and then Data has read Pulaski's expression to learn a few things. He says Moriarty said he's not going to injure her unless he has to. And this is when Moriarty says he has felt a consciousness within him. So, whoops.
Yeah, he's like, shit kind of feels weird. He doesn't, this is already the reveal, right? Because he goes, "I feel like I'm a fly, like in a jar, and this jar is just going fucking nowhere." And yes. Like, what are you talking about? And we don't know what you're talking about. You're in London right now, and it's so creepy.
The thing about it is,
shows him the drawing, right?
Yes, Moriarty actually says he's felt multiple consciousnesses within him. So Moriarty is an extension of the computer, right?
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
so
right.
The ship is Moriarty, right? So all the consciousnesses within him are the people on the ship, like the crew and such.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now that like we're talking about this, it's like a lot more fleshed out.
Yeah, he says, "I have felt new realities at the edge of my consciousness, readying to break through," which is all of the other holodeck programs possibly. And he goes, "Data, I know you're a computer, and the computer is like the Oracle at Delphi. Data, I know you're not like other humans, and I also know that all of this is controlled by something called computer." And then that's when he hands Data a drawing of the Enterprise, and Data just goes
on a turtle's back.
yes, because he's on and that's funny because that's how people used to call Earth orbiting the sun, right?
I was gonna say, isn't that from Stephen King's It too?
It's also from Stephen King. Got it from other stuff, but yes, that's
a weird theory. It's like
the
flat
space
earthers.
turtle. And also fucking Discworld, the Terry Pratchett novel series that takes place on the back. Discworld is on the back of a giant turtle that's walking through the galaxy.
Should look into that.
Dude, Discworld is really fucking cool. I got into it a few years ago and read like 6 or 7 of the books.
And the Earth turtle theory too.
Oh,
just
yeah,
where that originated.
I mean,
it must be like years and years ago.
Well, I mean,
some guy was just like, "Hey."
I'm pretty sure they talk about it in the fucking, oh man, what is the problematic musical from like the 40s or 50s where the King and I, in the King and I, they talk about it.
Weird. It's just like such a weird, creepy theory, but it's like Matrix, before Matrix.
He says that in the King and I, the king of, we don't say Siam anymore, but he fucking says that the Earth is on a turtle's back. And she's trying to explain actual science. And he's like, "Nah, it's what I say because I'm the king, motherfucker, not because it's true." Now, Geordi also says to Data at one point, a holographic guy shouldn't be able to create an arch. But after Data gets the drawing of the Enterprise, Al, how does he react? What happens next?
It's kind of weird because it's like we always talk about Data not having emotions and stuff since he's an android and shit, but he
always has
panics.
Emotions.
Yeah, he literally panics. Like, this is the first time you see Data like kind of freak out. And like when Data freaks out, like you kind of know shit hits the fan.
Yeah, because he's basically an invulnerable, super intelligent, ultra strong thing. And
we're always telling how overpowered he is and how like people always send him to like planets at first because he's just an android. Like he doesn't have lungs. Like he'll be fine, right?
It's like in the Orville when he asks the strong alien lady to open this jar of pickles. Now, Data, as you mentioned, he freaks out. He panics. In a huff, they exit the holodeck, and he tries to shut it down, but it won't shut down. What?
But it's like a we need to get dad moment, you know? And he's like, oh, we gotta let the captain know about this right now.
Oh yeah, we didn't think it was serious, but now it's like fucking serious. And they also just left Pulaski with Moriarty. They just dipped.
And Jordy's like, is Pulaski fine? And he's like, Data's like, I'm not sure.
Moriarty's not going to hurt her unless he has to. He seems like a gentleman as much as he seems a psychotic hologram. So now Moriarty seriously has control of the ship, and they go, hey, we got to finally see the captain. They explained to Picard, Moriarty gave us a drawing of the ship. Now he has control of the ship. Geordi is like, is the doctor all right in there? And Data says, no, she's in grave danger.
Oh, he says no. I thought he said, I don't know.
No, he says, no, she's in grave danger, dude.
Yeah, it's a very big, like, let's tell dad moment. Like, we got to tell Picard.
Yep. Act 4 is Data and Geordi in a staff meeting, and they're still wearing their little outfits. I love that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Well, they had to tell. It was urgent, you know? You got to sense the
of course.
urgency.
Pulaski's going to get killed by a holograph. And
and this is their only doctor.
And the funny thing is, Picard likes the holodeck. He appreciates the technology. Yeah. He thinks this is cool. Like, he's not happy about it, but that Picard is like, it's pretty fucking cool that our computers can even do this, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And so they basically explain we wanted to create a worthy opponent, and this is the crux. This is the entire point of the whole episode. Geordi fucked this up so hard, and he realizes it. He goes, I asked the computer to create a worthy adversary, and Picard goes, worthy of Holmes? And Geordi goes, oh no, I said worthy of Data. And so the computer knows how smart Data is. Right. So the computer is using all of its processing power. That's what the power surges are happening and shit. Right. All of Majel Barrett's voice commanded computer is using all of its RAM to create a Moriarty that's smarter than Data. And that's why Moriarty was able to become sentient, essentially, right? Because only a sentient hologram, because Geordi's a sentient computer, and Moriarty's Data's a sentient computer, and now Moriarty's a sentient computer. So it's just this, and this is all like exactly what Pulaski is. It's all exactly what Pulaski is being racist about, you know? Mm. So Picard is irritated, but also fascinated. And he says, we can't risk sending Worf and some jarheads in there to fuck shit up. And they can't
just holograms. They're just going to, change the environment or whatever.
And they can't just turn the holodeck off. They can't hard reboot it because everything inside could be shredded to ribbons, including Pulaski, even though her life signs are strong in there still. So they can't use a particle beam to destroy everything. Basically, Moriarty needed consciousness to be able to defeat Data, and the ship fucking gave it to him. And
it's getting too much to the point where, what's her name? Even the what's
Troy?
Gosh,
Deanna Troy.
Deanna Troy, yeah. Gosh, even Deanna Troy was like, I'm sensing something from the holodeck, Captain, that it's like, more to the kin of
a consciousness.
Computers being a conscious. Yeah. So it's getting pretty freaky. And this all happened in a matter of seconds, right after Geordi put in that request, basically.
And while this is going on, the ship controls get momentarily transferred to holodeck 2. And he's like, whoops. Picard immediately gets up and he's like, I've got to go grab a costume so that we can head into the holodeck. And then we cut to Pulaski and Moriarty, and Pulaski's like, did you make the room shake? And Moriarty is making her tea. Pulaski's playing dumb about all this, and Moriarty's like, I shouldn't care that you like my tea. And Pulaski's like, I'm not scared of you. You seem chill. And this is when he pulls up an arch and chats with the computer. He can't remember the last command.
To take over this ship.
Exactly. And then basically he says, hey, I'm on to you, Pulaski. Or he's talking to the computer. He's like, I'm on to you. And then basically she offers to take him to the ship, and he says, in time. And she says, right now we are in London. Tell me what you want from me or let me leave. She says, he says, you're a worm on the hook, baited for your Captain Picard.
Jeez. And at this point, it's like, it's freaky because in the senior staff meeting, Picard's like, Data, theorize. How would Moriarty, get ahead of this? Like, how would he beat us? And Data's like, well, sir, he'd need access to the entire computer. And with that, all the library and data that comes with that. And he's just going to, formulate a way to take over control of the ship. And then, like, as he's saying that, like, the ship rocks. So he's already dead ahead.
And yes, I just love
it's so
that.
funny how that like all works out.
And I'm loving this episode more and more the more we talk about it, because it really is just like Data versus the ship's computer. And then we cut to we cut to Picard, Data, and Worf and Riker outside the holodeck. Riker's in his uniform, but Worf is in a period specific costume.
Yeah.
And he's like, Picard's like, tell me, is the program still running? And it says yes. Picard puts on his top hat and cane, and then they head in.
No, it's funny too. I didn't realize when Picard pops open his top hat, Worf jumps. He's like, whoa, what the hell?
It's magic. It's dark magic.
So it's just, even though Worf dresses up, it's just Picard and Data that goes in.
That's right. Worf is waiting outside in case something happens.
That's true. You're right.
He's in costume as backup. And then...
yeah, just in case.
Picard picks up a tuppence off the street. It's a 2p. It's supposed to be good luck. He says, we may need some. And then they're about to get robbed, right? And Data breaks the robber's finger. And Data's like, this differs from any other holographic character I've seen. This could have injured you. And then Picard is like, no, this is more important, or this is bigger than that. The mortality failsafe may have been circumvented. Bam, bam, bam. He could have killed me. The holodeck's not supposed to kill you, dog.
Right, but it's just like this weird conversation happening in front of this mugger, and he has like no idea what they're saying.
I'm just a semi-sentient hologram, and I'm going crazy. So they head to the Moriarty warehouse. I do think it's funny that Picard is dressed like a magician. I don't really get that. So Al, walk us through when Data and Picard get to Moriarty's secret behind the bookcase warehouse.
Well, they see Pulaski just chilling on the couch.
Yeah, she gets up. Like she gets up like, oh no, I'm very full of tea and cakes. I just and then,
she was taking a nap from the itis.
Right, and then Moriarty's like, I'm civilized but dangerous, and then he pulls a lever and the ship shakes again. Yeah,
and Riker immediately calls Worf and he's like, what's going on? Worf's like, nothing's going on. Nothing's changed. And like everybody on the ship seems to be more scared. I mean, it is freaky that the computer just took over control, but Picard's like, fuck it. It's a hologram. This place technically doesn't exist. Like, we can just give it what it wants.
Yes. Picard says, we're going to give Moriarty everything he wants. And so Data,
but Moriarty already thought of that, I feel.
Well, Picard is like, hey, I hate to break it to you, bucko, but you're a robot. You're a bunch of light particles and data. Not like data here, but you're data. And
this is
he says,
sorry, go ahead.
He says you're a program that was created for Data here to compete against, and win or lose, once that contest is done, your program is ended. And Data says, congratulations, Professor Moriarty. You have bested me. I capitulate to the better man. Your victory is... And Moriarty's like, fuck you. He puts his hand on the lever.
Yeah, this is a really good speech, though, or a really good monologue that he goes off on, where he's like, this is different, man. It's grown beyond this game.
It's gone beyond that little game, Mr. Data.
He's like, I've like learned things. I've gained so much knowledge, and my head's just like about to explode. Like, what is going on? Like, the computer told me I am only made up of energy. Yeah,
he says, whatever I was when this began, I have grown. I am understanding more and more, and I am able to use the power at my fingertips. And then he pulls the throttle again, and everything shakes. I love how he's got like an old-timey steampunk train engine pull that he uses to rattle the ship.
Yeah, and he can't like conjure things in the holodeck, I guess, because he's still limited to that technology in that time.
Well, it's because that's what he would think, right? And then this is when Picard really lays it all out, and he says, "We're in a holodeck."
He tells him the truth.
It's like a transporter, and he's like, "What's the fucking point, man?" So this is where Picard basically says,
"This has already happened, you know."
Yeah,
like
humans have discovered
too.
Humans have discovered that energy and matter. Yeah, like shouldn't he know all this from the library that he read? Like he read the library of the ship.
Yeah, that too. Actually, he probably should have read that episode.
and this is where Picard has a masterful gambit here.
Yeah,
Picard says, "Look, I'm willing to concede that you've become something more, but you can't exist outside of the holodeck. So how about this? We save you in the holodeck computer / kind of like the transporter buffer. We save your pattern, and then we can bring you out when we know how to get you more autonomy." So
which they eventually do in what is it?
In Voyager.
Voyager.
Yeah, in Voyager he gets the holographic emitter so he can walk around the ship. And
he's at the doctor.
And in Starfleet Academy, that EMH is still alive 1,000 years in the future, and he's like had an aging protocol, so he looks older.
Really?
And
the same one.
He's Picardo is back, the actor, Robert Picardo, and he plays the doctor, and he's like a legit hologram that has sentience. And there's also a holographic cadet.
God, that gets weird.
So basically Moriarty is like, his data is just a machine, and Picard says he's more, and Moriarty says, does the old I think therefore I am. And so basically
he's like, okay, you kind of have a point there.
It's just such a weird ending because Moriarty just concedes. He's like, okay, Picard.
That's what I was saying with the whole Gene Roddenberry era ending, with like, you remember the menagerie? With the cave or with the gallery and all that. And like, it just seemed like hopeless. And like these aliens were very powerful, but then they just like seceded because they were like, oh, we just wanted to see what you were like.
We didn't know humans had souls. Unlike Data, like we're also racist against robots.
Whereas Moriarty is like, it's purely because I don't know. It's like I don't want to say like it is a hostage situation where he's taking hostage of the ship, and it's like, I don't know. It's telling him the truth, but it's also like, still kind of taking control.
Pushing the conceit. Moriarty. The ship created Moriarty to be a rival to Data, but somebody intelligent enough to be a rival to Data would also be intelligent enough to see that there's no value in controlling the ship if you can't leave the holodeck, and that the long game would be, I come back when we're able to do that. And then he says, I'll still fill you with crumpets, madam, and to Pulaski, and that's the end. And then the stinger is Geordi's like, no, Picard, no real damage on the miniature victory. And Geordi is like, I can't believe shit went so crazy because I said one word wrong. The victory shows up. That's the end.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think it's like that was a really good point that you made at the end where it was like Picard, he's laying it out to him and just being completely honest. And by being honest, it's kind of like Moriarty understands rather than just, villain of the week being like, I'll destroy the Enterprise and everybody on it if I can't exist. It's more of like, oh, you're definitely right. That makes sense. I think that's what makes this show way better, Yeah,
the meathead way to do it would be they have to kill Moriarty because he can't, because he won't stop.
Or Moriarty, wouldn't stop. But it's like you said, the fact that it's technically still the Enterprise because the Enterprise creates the holodeck that like the Enterprise is like, well, I'm not going to destroy myself, right? I don't know. It's like part of those really good gambits, like you said, that Picard does with. It reminds me of when they were in that giant blob of nothingness.
Yes.
And Picard was like, "Fuck this, we'll blow ourselves up."
I just edited that episode.
No,
I think
and
that was the one.
It was funny too that you brought up too, and it really made me mad when I watched the episode again, this detective one, where Pulaski was just like, "Data, you wouldn't really know a real mystery if it hit you." And I was like, weren't they just in a blob of nothingness like a week ago, and he was solving it with them? Like,
yeah, dude, she
is
sucks.
That not a mystery?
But that's the thing. Once you realize that Pulaski is racist and not like a scientist, you can't apply logic to how she talks to Data. Like, she's seen Data solve mysteries. She fucking knows that he can do that kind of shit, you know? But she's just racist, so she won't give him the satisfaction. So we're over an hour, so I just want to say I really liked that. I love this episode. I love Moriarty as a character. I love all the holodeck stuff. I thought it was great that one word that Geordi said, Data instead of Holmes, fucking changed everything. And I thought the ending was really weird when Moriarty essentially just concedes that hey, you know, yes, if I'm really a person, I gotta be chill about this.
Well, it's just like the villain was too powerful, you know, someone better than Data. Like we said, we both always talk about how overpowered Data is in the show. So I don't know. I feel like it'd kind of break things. It's kind of like a Borg situation.
Yes.
Like, everything's just hopeless. And they're like, oh no, they got Picard. Oh no. Like, everything's so hopeless. We can't save the day.
Absolutely,
we can't talk
dude.
it out.
Yes. And just the idea of an adversary that is more OP than Data, you know? So what did you think?
I just, like I said at the beginning, I thought that this was going to be like a really weird filler episode of just like silly holodeck stuff. And it is a little silly, but I don't know. It's a cool introduction to the potential of the holodeck, excuse me. And the whole, like, the way shit can get way scarier at times just from making a simple mistake of the word, or the power of leaving the holodecks to their own demise, you know?
It's kind of like a genie. It's kind of like a genie wish situation almost.
Or a monkey's paw thing, right?
Yes. And I think it's an interesting reinforcement or statement of the premise that the holodeck is essentially the ship's computer, right? So it's kind of one and the same.
They explain it every time too. For anybody watching random episodes, they explain it every time, like how the holodeck works. Because Pulaski's like, how do we? London's so big, and Data's like, yeah, the holodeck's the same size, but you know,
it just generates what's in front of you, and
and it's like, okay, all right.
So it basically has them walking in a circle, I guess.
It's so bizarre.
It's so funny.
Too, Geordi's like, but you could touch unless you touch the wall, and I was like, yeah, but still. They finesse. It's just like a giant treadmill.
they finesse the holodeck quite a bit.
Giant 360 treadmill.
Yeah. So 1 out of 5 racist Pulaskis. How do you give this? I was gonna do
something nicer, like mortuary drawings or something.
Moriarty drawings. How many
drawings of the Enterprise?
How many computer aided drawings of the Enterprise do you give this episode 1 to 5?
I would give it a 4. This isn't like
I'm in agreement.
Episode. Yeah, I was gonna say this isn't like a oh my god, this is amazing, but this is very Star Trek-esque. It's they're dealing with consciousness. They're dealing with like mental. It's like, is this living? Is this not living? And then Pulaski's probably shook from this whole experience, which is another Star Trek trope of like,
she has no insight. Remember when, she has no introspection. I'm just saying she's so racist that she feels nothing still.
No, I guess we'll find out. I don't remember the next episode if she's still mean or not, but no, and it's like it's an interesting way of I don't know. It's very sci-fi-esque in the sense of something being in another place, like a fourth dimension, you know?
The reason this is
that thing having consciousness.
The reason this is my highest rated episode so far for the series, I think, for this season, for sure, is that it does all of the Star Trek stuff. They've got to solve this mystery. It's technology. It's the ship. But it's a story that couldn't have really happened in this way in the original series. Like, this is distinctly Star Trek The Next Generation because of the holodeck stuff and the man-machine morality of it. You don't get that in an episode-by-episode basis in the original.
The original, yeah.
To a degree, I would...
It's too much, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I gave it a 4 as well, so we were in agreement. That's great.
Because in the original, they probably would have killed Moriarty.
They would have gone to a Sherlock Holmes planet.
Yeah, or something like that. Or it just, I don't know, it wouldn't have pulled off as well, like you said. Because
Picard would have had to kill Moriarty, really right?
Yeah.
Kirk, I mean.
Kirk, yeah. But this season is like really them setting off on their own trail. And yeah, this is like, actually, ironically, a really good start. I wanted to see the previous two, though. Let's see. The Child, that one was weird. Okay, so where Silence has lease in this one, this is really good Star Trek Next Gen episodes to start with. Like, they're really, really, they're compact stories, even though it's an hour, but still it's like, I don't know, every step of the way, the story feels logical. They have their senior staff meetings. They like all have their own opinion. It's not like Kirk just going off either. I mean, I guess Kirk asked everybody for their opinion too, but it wasn't as like, proper as like, I don't know, traditional. And this is the late 80s, early 90s. So it's like right at the precipice of like Star Trek Next Generation being like cultural 90s core,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, this is when they really start to kick off.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited for these next ones.
Same. And the next episode, if I recall, is...
It's the comedy one.
I mean, it's not bad. I think it's kind of funny.
Right.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna give it a 4, but we'll see.
No.
And so that was our discussion of season 2, episode 5, season 2, episode 3 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Elementary Dear Data, which brings us to our final segment of the show. Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things. What do you got for us, Al?
I saw recently Bugonia.
Oh,
Bugonia.
Was it good?
Dude, it was...
Well, you're recommending it, I would imagine.
I am recommending it, yeah. I'm recommending it purely on the cinematography was good, but the actors all did a really good job. Actually, someone from a podcast I used to listen to a long, long time ago is on it, Stavros.
Yeah.
He's one of he plays a really fucked up character on the show, but it's actually, it's like dark humor.
It's a movie, right?
I don't know. Yeah, the movie, excuse me, Begonia.
Yeah,
and
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah, and the plot is about like these people, basically, they come off as like, red-pillared incels that are just they capture somebody and they try to convince them that they're an alien. And it's like this whole conspiracy that these guys have in their head. And it's like, the whole mystery is, will they want, or are they not? But I don't know. I just turned to my girl while we were watching it, my fiance.
Yay,
but
fiance.
I was like, I felt like this was an American take on like this whole dark humor that, Korean and, like Asian film is known for, like Parasite or No Other Choice, like that whole dark humor, like length. It wasn't executed as well as I thought. I mean, I guess I'll watch it again now that I know what happens, but, I think it's just a little too long. If it was a little shorter, it would have been better.
Well, let me say this to you.
You should watch it. Everybody should watch it.
I will.
No Other Choice too, as well.
I think we're going to cover it. There is local.
Is there promo?
No, that's just it. There's a local coffee shop. There's a local coffee shop in Minneapolis that does funny promotional tie-in items. It's like a one-off business and they had a begonia latte or something.
Oh, nice.
and that was funny. So we were thinking, and Andrew, my co-host for the other podcast, got it. Oh, so it's got Jesse Plemons in it. Okay,
dude, he goes off. Like he has so many monologues. Like he should he should get an Oscar or something.
So here's the thing.
Everybody does a really good job. What's the other lady's name? Emma
Stone. But
Emma
now,
Stone, dude.
Here's the
She's
thing,
had
dude.
a stellar career too. Like this is like a nice little cherry on top.
You
know?
said this is like the American version of like a Parasite type thing or whatever.
Sort of.
But no. Are you aware that this is a remake?
Oh.
This is a remake of Save the Green Planet, which was
There we go. That makes way more sense.
Let's see here, renowned Korean film director. So this is based on a Korean film from 2003.
I gotta watch that
called
now.
Save the Green Planet.
Green Planet.
I
Okay.
heard a lot about it when it came out, but I never saw it.
Well, shoot. Maybe both are good. I don't know.
Oh,
It's like
people really
take,
like,
you know?
people like Save the Green Planet. And so I definitely want to watch that. And Begonia. Okay, so good recommendation. Everybody go watch Begonia. I am going to recommend, and I'm certain that I recommended this last season, but I think they finished it while we were on break. But the ending to My Hero Academia is really fucking good.
Really?
So I definitely recommend anybody that if you like anime, but you haven't pulled the trigger on watching My Hero yet, you should. It's very good.
Word. I just finished actually Attack on Titan too.
Ooh, I haven't finished that yet. No spoilers.
Oh
no, I haven't watched the last 2 movies. It ends with like 2 movies.
Oh, it's so good. It flies by.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's so many like what?
Yeah,
There's so many like twists. Dude.
I wish
It's
they did
crazy.
more of the mystical shit, you know, like with the crystals and stuff. But yeah, so watch Begonia, watch all 150 something episodes of My Hero Academy. It's very good.
Cool.
And come back next week where we're going to be discussing the outrageous Okana.
All right.
Thanks so much for coming out. Bye.
Bye.
149. Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Bluesky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.